Go download my free legato course right now and learn to play fast in the fastest way possible. Hey! One thing that suddenly made soloing fun for me was the concept I'm going to talk about in this video. I can take this off now. We used that in the previous video, so go back and watch those if you haven't done so here on YouTube. One thing that just made soloing was stressful for me when I started out. And I was pretty good at some stuff, right? I knew some scale shapes and I had my techniques down. I knew a couple of licks and sequences. And I really just wanted to have fun. I wanted to be that guy, blasting out a solo on stage with confidence and enjoying it and being able to communicate with the audience as I was doing it. But that was nowhere to be found, because every time it was my time to solo, it was like I was, at an exam. Like, okay, every note counts, Klaus. If you get one note wrong, then it's going to be awful. People will see that you're faking it, that you don't really know what you're doing, because I didn't know what I was actually doing. And I thought I knew what I was doing, but that's because I was told this story about, okay, here's how you learn soloing. You learn some scales, and you learn some licks, and the rest is up to you. So I was in that the rest is up to me thing, right? Where I didn't know what to do. But once I started doing the thing I'm going to explain to you in this video, it became fun. But it required me to go back on a few things. I needed to focus more on simplicity. Once I started doing that, it became so much fun building solos. And you can do the same thing today. And what it really is actually what happened was, I was suddenly into blues. Before that, it was like, blues was just too simple. I remember being at a concert in London, and the guy who was playing the blues, he was really good. He sang amazingly and he played really cool, but he used a capo to change the key of the song. So he just put a capo on here in the 5th fret if he was playing an A, and he could play the same first position blues scale shape. So he was at a minimum of learning and skills, but he was still playing really cool solos, right? There's a proof that you don't need a lot of tools. It's nice with a lot of tools. It's luxury with a lot of tools like scales, arpeggios, and all kinds of stuff. But it's not necessary to entertain people and play really great. But so I went into blues, even though I thought it was a simple music. It was just the same every time, the same 3 chords. And suddenly when I discovered Stevie Ray Vaughan, it's just wow, right? The pleasure of blues is to be found in another place than where you find pleasure in most other. It's not in the variety of the chords. It's not in the variety of scales that you use. It's in the guys playing and what comes out just live, right when he's playing it, right? And even though he's playing some of the same riffs, it's in the intensity. It's in the expression. It's really amazing. Once you get your eyes and your ears open to that, it's just, there's so much variety in the same freaking 3 chords, right? And the same 5-note scale or 6-note scale. It's just amazing. But so once I started doing that, I started getting into the pulse, the rhythm of the blues and going... stuff like that. And that was just hilariously simple for me before I went into blues. But then I started playing these simple structures, and suddenly soloing became fun. And I warmly recommend that you do the same thing. And you don't have to go to blues. You can play like a thing I just do. Right? You can play this simple rock riffs in the background like that. It's so much fun, but you have to allow yourself to step away from that zone of I want everything to be complex. I want as many notes in there. I want, runs and all kinds of flashy stuff. That's like watching a Hollywood movie with a bad story, but with all kinds of effects, and you walk away from that movie just you can have the most amazing special effects, but if the story wasn't good, then you're not going to like the movie. This is how it is, right? That's the flaw every single time I don't like a movie. It's not the effects, it's not all the flashy stuff. The flashy stuff is great, don't get me wrong, but it's a second level of enjoyment. And if the first level of enjoyment isn't there, it's just empty, right? And that's what people really talk about when they talk about people who play fast all the time, that they think it's empty, but it's not necessarily. If the story's right in it. And the story is the structure. And I'm just going to give you a simple thing to play around with that's basically playing the same thing. So let's just take that riff again here. You play the same thing. You play... That's like a bar. And then you play it again. And then you do a variation to it. And then you play it again. And when you come full circle, like 4 or 8 bars in the period, then you pick another riff. And then you play that 4 times. It's so simple, but it works. And I should say that once you're good at this, you can put in all the flashy stuff on top of it. And you'll still have the structure underneath it. But if you don't have the structure first, then you're just going to sound like an idiot, right? Just playing all kinds of licks and riffs. It's all just one mess, right? Let me see if I can entertain you by just sheer variety of what I do. But people are just going to be confused. We want something we can almost sing along to when you play solo, right? And if there's a fast one in there, some tapping stuff, some impressive stuff as well, then we're all into it, right? But if you miss the sheer pleasure of simplicity, then you miss your chance to really entertain people. So, right? So I go like I did here, right? Right, we can hear the guitar. You have time to phrase, to do vibrato, to have intensity, because you stay with one thing. And the audience can follow you. They know what's coming, right? Because you just played it once. The second time around, the audience will be like, yeah, right, we know what's going on, right? Let me see if I can come up with some... And then a new thing. New thing. What? Continue like that. And in the beginning, you're going to have a hard time coming up with stuff, and and you're going to feel like a clown because you sometimes need to play stuff that is so simple that, this is way below my skill level, man. But eureka if it is, because then you have total control over it. It's easy suddenly, and then you can start focusing on playing solo instead of trying to practice techniques as you play solos. This is so important because it's about how much you enjoy playing guitar. And once I have that structure down, doing the fast stuff suddenly is easy because I have that foundation in my simple stuff. And I should say that I call this method, and there's so many details to how you can structure your solo, what kind of systems you can use in order to get that foundation in place. And I call it syntax soloing. And if you click the link just below the video here, there'll be so much more about it. But I'm just gonna do it again here. Oh, that was kind of weird. But just to show you that you can put fast stuff in there as well. But when that fast stuff is put in a context of something very structured, then suddenly it all makes much more sense. And you get to be in control suddenly because you have that foundation to return to. Whatever you do, you can always return to that basic structure. So go click the link and go practice this right away. You know what's going on. I know you do. I know you know how to practice this. And if you can't figure it out, then you need to go much more simple. Use one note, right? Right? If that's it, if that's what you need to do in order to start with the structure, then that's what you need to do. So do it, right? And do it every day. And pretty soon, you'll start to really feel in control when you solo on a whole new level. See you in tomorrow's video. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.